A 3-year-old boy is crying beside a temple pond. His father has walked into the water and turned his back. What happens in the next 10 seconds is either the strangest thing in Tamil literature or it is exactly what a crying toddler would want to be true. 3 things about this boy. Let us take them in order. 1. Before he could hold a conversation, he sang 11 verses in meter. Nobody taught him that. 2. He built a melody the greatest musician alive could not play. Then he stopped that man from smashing his own instrument on the stones. 3. At 16, he walked into a light at his own wedding. And he did not go in alone. His name is Nanasambandar. For more stories built from real texts and real lives, subscribe to Kathavana. 7th century. A town on the Tamil coast called Sirgari. There is a temple there, and beside it, a kulam, a stone temple pond. A father brings his 3-year-old son there to bathe. He sets the boy down on the bank. He wades in, and he turns his back. And the boy starts screaming, alone on a wet stone step, looking for a face he cannot find. This is the point where the account stops behaving like history. The sky opens. Sivaperaman and Ummayamme are standing over the water. She is holding a golden cup. She bends down and she feeds the crying child. Tamil has a word for what is in that cup. Jnanapal, the milk of wisdom. He drinks it. The sky closes. And nothing about this boy is ordinary again. The boy who sang before he could talk. The father climbs out of the water, dripping, and he sees white on his son's mouth, and he is furious because this is Tamil country in the 600s. You do not take food from a stranger's hand, not a child of this household, not without knowing whose hand it was. Somebody has fed this man's son, and he wants a name. Who gave you that? The 3-year-old raises one finger and points straight up. The father wants an explanation. What he gets is a melody. The boy opens his mouth and instead of answering, he sings 11 verses in meter, holding together. In Tamil, that form is a Pathigam, a hymn of 11. And they still know his by its opening words. Todudeya Seviyan, the one with an earring in his ear. He is describing the God he has just seen. The earring, the matted hair, the bull, the white ash. A composition a trained adult poet would have been proud of. Out of a child who was barely talking that morning. Nobody taught him that. His father sat down on the ground. They started calling the boy Nanasambandar, the one joined to wisdom. Here is what makes him different from almost every saint on this channel. He did not stay home. He went on tour, temple to temple across the Tamil country, singing. He was too small to walk it, so they carried him, eventually on a pallaka studded with pearls, which is a ridiculous sentence to write about a small child. At one temple, he was given pontalam, golden cymbals, so he could keep his own rhythm while he sang. Picture that for a second. A child holding instruments nearly as wide as his own body, keeping time for a courtyard full of grown adults. Every grown man in that crowd is taking spiritual instruction from someone who still needs help climbing onto his own seat. Tradition credits him with 16,000 hymns. 383 of them survive. They make up the first 3 books of the Thevaaram. And people are singing them this week. Now the second thing, in a temple town, he meets a musician, Tirnilakanda Yalpanar. He is a master of the Yal, the ancient Tamil harp. The instrument is older than the temples they are standing in, and this man can do something remarkable. Whatever the boy sings, he plays back. Instantly, exactly, verse for verse, note for note. So Sambandar composes something new, a pun, a melody mode. built deliberately outside what the instrument can reach. Tradition calls it Yarmuri, roughly the Yaazh Breaker. Nobody taught him that. The Yarpana tries. His hands stop. He cannot play it. And this man, a master humiliated in public by a child, lifts the instrument over his head to break it on the stones. And a very small hand catches his wrist. The boy stops him. They sit down together on the ground, the harp intact. The account has him telling the musician that the fault is not his, that the infinite was never going to fit inside wood and string, and that you do not break the box for being a box. That is the moment I would keep. A child with unlimited standing in that room, at the exact second he could have destroyed a man, choosing not to. The third thing takes longer to arrive. In Mayilapur, a merchant named Sivanesar has a daughter, Poombave. Her father has already decided who she is going to marry. The boy from Sirgadi. One afternoon, she is bitten by a snake. She dies before evening. Her father does not scatter her ashes. He gathers them and the small bones into a clay pot, and he seals it. Years go by. Then Sambandar comes to town, and in a crowded street the merchant sets the pot down in front of him. The boy looks at it for a long moment, and then he sings to it. And what he sings about is not death. It is a list of everything she missed. The festival in the month of Margari, the chariot dragged through the street, the lamps, the crowds, the mornings. Every celebration she should have grown up attending. Named, one by one. The clay begins to glow and she stands up out of it, grown. The age she would have been. Nobody taught him that. Her father goes down on his knees, now marry her. And the boy refuses. He has just given her this life, he says. That makes her his daughter. He walks away from the fortune and from the arrangement. She stays in Mylapur. There is a shrine to her there today. One more person, an older saint. Tirunavukarasar, decades older, a man who had already suffered for this faith. The child starts calling him Appar, which just means father. The name stuck so hard that centuries later, most people know him only as Appar. A toddler's nickname outlived the man's own name. Sambandar lives to 16, that is it. 16. At 16, he finally agrees to a marriage. A temple town called Nallur Permanam. Everyone he has ever known is in that hall. During the ceremony, he sings one last Pathigam, and the Sodhi, the light in the inner sanctum, opens. He does not go in alone. He turns around and he waves the whole wedding forward. The bride, the guests, his family, the musicians, all of them walk into the light. And that is the last anyone ever sees of him. You are allowed to sit with how strange that is. A 16-year-old walks his own wedding party into a wall of light. And the tradition tells that as the happiest ending it has. 13 centuries later, people are still singing the Thevaaram in the same temples where he first sang it. Somebody who never made it out of his teens wrote music that has outlived every empire on that coastline since. We do not know if the milk was real, but 13 centuries later, the music still tastes like it. If this story moved you, hit like, subscribe, and join us for more tales from Kathavana, stories that outlive time.